my name is BenFekete, and we're going to search the nooks and crannies of Freytag's pyramid. For those of you that don't know, Freytag is this gentleman. Imagine him as an old man with a beard. That's pretty much all he is, to be honest with you. But Freytag's pyramid. Oh, I guess it's just a laggy computer. Exactly, old man with a beard. This man didn't really know what a pyramid was, however, though, because it's an assembly of lines, essentially, looking like that, which outlays a dramatic story. Starts with the exposition, which is the starting, rising action, going up, climax in the tip top, falling action, going down, and then the resolution. And so let's see. This is more for the teacher who currently could not be here with us. Subject's English, grade level would be 9th grade. The objective of this is to understand Freytag's pyramid, also known as the dramatic story arc. For the exposition here, I have a video to kind of give you a better example, but also just the general idea. The exposition is also reveals like a lot of the characters' backstories, along with information about the setting and events occurring before the main plot. So before the story really takes off. If you see a gun in the opening setting, you better hope that gun's smoking by the end of it, because the rising action needs to go to a climax. And this video is a quick, like, 1-minute section of a movie called Memento by Nolan. Can't really hear it that well, and since the sound is different from the other room. Essentially, what happens is he pulls a trigger. It's all in reverse. The guy's life ends. The scene changes from the man yelling to him sitting in a room. Nobody knows what's going on. When you first see this, is the first minute, so you know that this man is dead, and he's just sitting there thinking. A random room, don't know what's going on, but you want to know, why is that man? Why did he kill him? It's an exposition series, the intro. Up here we got this picture kind of giving you like a construct, kind of like the pyramid design. We got the rising action right here going up, climax right on top, falling action going down. A rising action, which I hope one of you can give me an example here. I'll give one first, but it would be like if I give an intro of somebody just walking down the street and a dog started coming up and sniffing them. You go to pet the dog, and the dog starts growling, tries to bite you. Climax doesn't happen yet, because he hasn't been bitten, or something along the lines of that, but the dog is sniffing him. It's leading up to the event. Does anybody want to give me an example of something you can thought for a rising action?
In Twilight, when Edward blocks the car, and Bella realizes that he's got like superhuman strength.
Agreed.
So like she's beginning to realize that something's different about him, and the climax would be when they're in the forest and he tells her, "What do you think I am?" And she's like, "I think you're a vampire." And you know, that's the like. And then the following action would be the next 3 movies.
I don't question your knowledge of this, but I question why you know so much about Twilight. But yeah, like you said, kind of went into the climax. Nice segue there, teach. But when he finds out he's a vampire, that hits home. That's bam. Like main character finding out something so dramatic about another main character changes the entire game of the movie. Now they know that it's a vampire. Things are going to change. So coming down from the climax, we got the falling action. Falling action is what pretty much sets up the story to come home. It's like in a bank robbery movie. If when the people are planning it out and they're like, all right, time to do this, strap up into the car, start going down, you know, nice safe speed limits because they don't want to get caught by the cops too early. But all right, resolution is the end. You'll notice I have The Dark Knight in the background. It's because if anybody's seen The Dark Knight, they know that this scene is pretty much at the resolution. It is the final fight. Everything is going down. This is where things are going to be settled. All the like plots and stuff are hopefully going to be, you know, explained. We got this nice balloon interactive thing right here. For the resolution, it's important to know that the conflicts resolve, as I stated. Character might have a new understanding. That's also a way to tell if it's a resolution. The character comes away with a new type of personality trait, some new understanding of the world. That's also a key indicator. And I also have here Deus Ex Machina. If any of you know what that is, I'm going to re-explain it. Basically, it's when something comes out of nowhere. It literally translates into like the word of God almost. And it basically means if a thunderbolt were to kill the main character at the very end, that's how the movie ends. Dies, traumatic experience closes. Pretty much happens when authors don't know how to end their story, aka waking up from a dream. Here is one of the quizzes, which I'll need a few volunteers. It's basically the thing I drew at the very beginning, filling in the parts of the dramatic story arc, aka Great Text Pyramid. So if any of you want to come up,
popping it or
yeah, you're gonna pop it and say which one it is. So an example would just be like, click on this one, you would say, oh, this is the exposition.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to come up and just, yeah.
Alright, the yellow balloon is right.
Correct.
This is the comment.
Yep. Falling action. Solid. And then I'll just help you guys out with the last one, and it's the resolution. My quiz number 2 would be create an example for each term listed below. And it's just the parts of the pyramid. And it's like we did earlier, the very first slide, where I was like, he run the Twilight example. So somebody just wants to pick one of these and just give me a random example, like a climax of a movie or a climax that you just created or a resolution that you just made up.
In the climax of Reservoir Dogs is when Mr. Orange is like, and then you realize that it was a setup the whole time. 5 minutes, Mr. Orange.
Yeah, that's right, but spoiler alert. Alright.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we can just do one more. Does anybody just want to pick one besides one that was just done? Okay.
When Nemo gets lost,
Okay.
and then he gets into the tank.
Are you talking about the tank where he's like, ooh, ha, 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 ooh, ha, like that one?
Yeah.
Alright, I would say that would be right after the climax, actually.
So what's the climax?
I would say personally that the climax of that movie is isn't it? Does the turtle thing happen before or after? It's been a while since I've seen that
The
movie.
turtle thing is when the dad is living there.
So is that after?
Yeah, it's after.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. That would yeah. Sorry, that movie is like what? Grade school? Yeah, like I forgot. Sorry. But it is. I would say it'd be more towards the rising action, tipping into the climax. Just because that the events leading up are he's still trying to find his son, and then the climax would be pretty much when he gets close and sees him like in range. Yeah. But yep, that's quiz 2. And the quick tip: locking things in place, which So you basically click on anything you want. I had this personal problem trying to just get pictures and stuff. I kept putting text over the pictures. I was just like, oh, like, just stay still, right? So you click on what you want, the arrow, and then go down the locking, and just click it, lock in place. Or you can just make it move once for just one quick tweak, but it's my quick tip. And the end of my presentation.